Hi everybody, it's good to see you. Today I'm going to be showing you how I created this classy and confident look. Okay, so I have a clean face, I have my hair pulled back, which is good because bad hair day. What I'm going to start off with is Shiseido's White Lucent Under Eye Cream. This is for dark circles. Okay, this is a sample I got from Sephora. I like the consistency. It's not too heavy. It soaks right into the skin. Within a couple of minutes, it feels like it's not there, except for that the skin is very soft. It really doesn't take much. I'm going to put a little on the back of my middle nail here, and I'm going to put that underneath, and the same amount under the other eye, and just dab it into place with my ring finger. The reason you dab and use your ring finger or your pinky is because the skin under your eyes and on the side of your eyes and your upper eyelids, all around the eye, is very thin. Ceramide cream, okay? And I know this is almost impossible. Yeah, you can't see it because of this. Ooh, there we go. I can't wait to get better lights. And here's how I apply with this. I take and I apply light pressure, and I apply little dots rather than, getting my fingers all over it. I've got clean face and apply little dots in various places, usually 2 to 3 on the cheek jaw area, 1 on the chin, 1 on the upper lip, 1 on the nose, and 3 on the forehead. All right? And then again, with your ring and pinky fingers, okay, or just your ring finger, just take and kind of dab it and move it around, but you want feather-like touches. This is my new eyelash curler. I've used it quite a few times, but I'm keeping it in the box. This is Tarte's High Performance Picture Perfect Eyelash Curler. It came with Lights Camera Lashes by Tarte. This is a little, it's little, but it's not what I would call a sample, so it's like a half size, okay? So we're going to try that out today as well. My eyelash curler was broken. It was broken. Every time I squeezed it, it would kind of pop apart, and that's not good for your eyelashes. So this one's neat. It has an ergonomic grip, and it might not seem like it, but it is very easy to hold. And it doesn't get uncomfortable on the fingers when you're squeezing your eyelashes down, when you're clamping down on them. So it's much easier to control because it naturally puts your hand in the position to curl your lashes. So you apply these to the base of the eyelashes, but not too close. Slowly close, squeeze, and count to 4 or 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay, let go. Grab the lashes higher up or more toward the outer edge, and do it again. Okay, timing, it really does depend on your eyelashes, and sometimes you'll be like, hey, that's not enough, and you need to go in for a second go. You can do that. Okay, so I'm going to apply some Dior Show 3D primer on my eyelashes. There's a new primer I want to try, and it is Voluminous, so it's a L'Oreal product. And it is supposed to be comparable to this. This is Christian Dior, so naturally it's going to be a bit more expensive than Voluminous. Okay, now on to the foundation, and this is the part that I'm actually really excited about. This one is NARS Skin Tint in Finland shade. I'm in Finland, and I noticed that NARS had quite a variety of colors in their foundations. So if you're tonally challenged, go check their stuff out. I was actually pretty surprised by this. The first day I used it, I didn't get oily at all. 12 hours later, I had only had to blot 1 time. Now, I'm sure part of that experience that I had with um, the foundation not getting so oily was, partly because of moisturization and partly because of the cleanser. And I'm sure that cleanser is helping so much. But the foundation will make a huge difference. So I'm going to spread this out with a nice brush. This is a Wet n Wild brush. This is, forgot its name, but it's a stippling brush. It kind of looks like a kabuki brush in a way. And you go in like this with it. You'll notice I'm not using a facial primer. That's because I used my Ceramide cream as a moisturizer. It's because I used my Ceramide cream as a moisturizer as a base for my foundation. Now, I'm also impressed by this because the Clinique foundation that I have is good. Unfortunately, it irritates my eyes. I am not used to Clinique irritating my eyes. So I don't know what they changed between now and 5 years ago when, when I was really heavily into Clinique, but something's different. This is, oh gosh, so skin tint, this is a matte skin tint, okay? This is a matte foundation. This is their matte formula. And this is awesome stuff. It's not cheap, but it's awesome. Try to blend your foundations past your chin by putting a dot under there and a dot under here and one over there, in a couple of places. Okay? And then blend it out, because if you don't, there's a very good chance that your face will be a different color than your neck. And some people are like, there are two schools of thought. Well, you need to match your foundation to your skin color. And other people are like, yeah, but I'm really tan here and my face is really white. So why wear white makeup and have a really tan body? Wear tan foundation that's right for your skin tone. I say go with that, because you don't want to look like you obsessively use SPF and you never get any color to your skin at all. You don't want to look like a ghost with a fake tan. Okay, that's what that looks like, you guys. This is like a light to medium coverage foundation. You can, of course, layer it if you want really heavy coverage. I'm going to put some highlight under the rest of my makeup today. It's going to be under the powder, but I can do that with High Beam. Okay, right there. Think football. Okay. All right. I can do that with this stuff because the shimmer comes through the powder without making you look oily. And again, ring finger dabbing. Okay. Now, where you place your highlights will vary depending on the amount of highlight you want, which features you're trying to emphasize, and the shape of your cheeks. Not all of us have the same bone structure. I'm going to apply a little bit of concealer right up next to my highlights under my eyes, but again, I'm not going to get too close to my eyes. I'm going to blend my concealer in a downward motion. Okay, and what this is going to do is brighten the under eye so that your eyes won't be drawn away from the drama of the eyelashes and the beautiful mascara and the eyeshadow and all the gorgeous things that you're trying to emphasize, people won't be looking at your dark under eye circles. So now that I'm done with my foundations as far as that stuff is concerned, I'm going to apply my Creme Brulee by Wet n Wild. And I'm just going to get a good amount on the brush. I'm not going to go light with this one because it really does match my natural skin tone extremely well. And if you're going for a natural look, then you definitely want to get one like this. Apply the shadow and leave it to where nobody can see that you're wearing eyeshadow. You just look really naturally beautiful. And I'll show you how to do a natural look. Recently I did that, and then I walked up, who was it, to my dad, and I said, how does my makeup look? And he goes, it looks natural. And I'm like, I know. He couldn't tell for a little bit. He had to actually stop and really look to tell that I was wearing makeup. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. But it looked nice. I looked refined. I looked fresh. I looked healthy. I did not look artificial, even though artificiality can be so much fun. This is the Tarte Showstopper Clay Palette. All right. It's hard to tell in this terrible light of mine, but that this center color here, this blush, is a coral color. And my nail polish is not orangey red, it's a cool red. It's more on the bluer side of red. Oh well, I'll get better light someday, ladies. And this has been out for a little while. This is the Blushed Nudes palette by Maybelline. Okay, and inside, again, it's impossible to see. Let me mess with the light a little bit. There you go. It's much easier to see that. These are the rose gold tones in the Maybelline line, and they're absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to be using a combination of those two palettes for my eyeshadow today. Now, since I've applied my Wet n Wild base shadow, I'm going to start with something that is a nice base color, which is the next level in darkness up from my base color, okay? I'm going to be using the more coppery golden tones, but I'm not going to go super drama, okay? And I have hooded eyes, okay? I have a little bit of a lower part of my upper eyelid, and if my eyes are open and I'm looking straight at you, you can't see it. It's covered by this upper part of my eyelid, so I have to apply my eyeshadow different than, say, Tati or Sabrina or Mayra would have to, okay? So the best way for us hooded girls to apply our eyeshadow is keep your eyes open, look straight, directly straight at the mirror, and go in, and the part that doesn't overlap your lid, that just is about to, that's where you'll find your crease. It's not really a crease, but it'll kind of behave like a crease. And that's where you're going to apply that definition line. And you probably can't tell yet, but I'm telling you, in person I can just barely see it, and that's the idea. Now I'm going to move on to the next level, and this is a rose gold tone. This is more of a red than a copper. And I'm going to apply this from the center crease toward the outer corner. And I'm just going to, just a little bit, just like that, and then blend it. Okay? And I'm not going to take my shadow all the way up to my eyebrow because that would close my eyes more. You want your eyes to look wide open, not scary. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, I'm going to take myself a clean rag, kind of wipe off the excess, and blend even more, because this next step is going to darken a part of my eyes, and I want to make sure that the color is intact. Now, the reason I'm going so light with this is because this is more of a classical look, but I'm changing the colors up just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to focus. Oh my gosh, Emily. I'm going to focus more on my Tarte palette now, and I'm going to take the coppery tone here. There we go, nice focus. And since it's so similar to the colors I just applied, but so much more heavily pigmented, I'm going to apply this on the outer corner of my eye, or what we refer to as the outer V or outer edge. And I'm going to apply this on the lower part of my upper lid and just barely into that corner of that darkened spot that I just created, and draw it up and out. So I've developed a line. I know you can see that. A line from here to here and there. Okay, so it's almost like a cat eye. Okay, and all that's going to do is add that dimension, so when you turn your head, that part of your eye is still that much more defined. Okay, so again, but this time I'm lifting my eyebrows so that I can get under there. Dab it a little bit in here on the corner to the outer edge, up and out. Okay, and using very light, delicate touches. It really doesn't take much. It takes almost nothing, no pressure at all to get this stuff to move. The Maybelline, you can tell there's a difference in the quality because the Maybelline needs work. You really have to get in there and get aggressive with the brush to get it onto the brush, which is, I mean, come on, it's an $8 palette. What are you going to do? And now I'm just going to make sure that this is well blended with the other two colors. If you feel like the eyeshadow you've done is just a little too dramatic, like you need to tone it down, but you don't want to wipe it off. Don't wipe it off. That's a nightmare. Just take some of your natural skin tone, apply, and then just blend it down. Okay? Just blend it down. All right? Until you get it to where it's the darkness, the depth that you want. So now I'm going to use this is an ELF, this is the Total Face brush. This is their big fluffy brush. Well, they have one that's bigger and fluffier. And I'm going to go in, and I'm going to grab some of that coral. Okay. And I'm going to just gently dab it along the cheekbone here. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to tap just a little bit of this contouring shade, and I'm going to go right under the blush. And I'm just going to touch very gently. Remember, dabbing, but not going too hard with it, because you look like an alien if you over contour. Trust me, it's not attractive. And there are so many women out there who are like, white here, brown on the side of their nose, huge line. It is not attractive. Just like drawing outside of your lips. Don't do that. It's so gross. Now, Halloween, go for it. Okay? Now, when I lean back and I look at you, it kind of looks like I've got brown all over the side of my face. So I'm going to wipe off my brush, make sure it's nice and clean, and I'm going to grab my powder. This is an Almay Clear Complexion powder. I use that because I'm so oily and I have allergies, and Almay tends to be pretty gentle for folks with allergies. And I'm just going to take my powder and I'm going to set the work that I've already done on my face. Now, applying powder after your blush, after your, all of your foundation work will help to blend it all together, make it more matte, okay? And if you have the brown look, this will help to blend that out. When I lean back, it's a little less drastic. It looks funny on this camera, but in person, this looks fabulous. It really does. I wish I could use natural light in this room, but then I'd be white on this side and black on this side. And, if I face directly into the mirror, this camera can't handle it. So when I get my new camera, I'm going to be so... The Kat Von D stuff is slightly overrated. It is slightly overrated. It's great. I love the applicator. It's good stuff. It doesn't budge. It doesn't feather. But the formulation's a little thin. So you have to go over it a couple of times. This is Trooper. It's a slightly greener tone than Pure Black, but you can't really tell just to look straight at it. It's absolutely good stuff. I do recommend it highly, okay? But like I said, it might take a little more work for you to get it exactly how dark you want it. Now I'm going to be using the tip of the brush, of the applicator, and then following the natural curvature of my eyelid, I'm going to go down to the outer edge corner of my eyelid, and then I'm going to give it just a little bit of a fleck upward toward the very outer edge of my natural eyebrow. And I know a lot of you tweeze and wax your brows away. Now we're not going to do a big wing look here because that's too much. This is not the 1960s. So you see it added definition to the eye, but it's not making me look overly made up. Now because I have more prominent underlids, I'm not going to be doing any eyeliner under my eyes. If your eyes are too close together, do not apply anything dark, including eyeliner, on the inside of your eye toward the center. Okay, you want to start at the center and move outward with the darkness and highlight. Use white eyeliner or a bright, pastel blue, or something really bright and pretty on the center of the eye and dark on the outside, because that will give the illusion that your eyes are slightly farther apart. The same thing applies if your eyes are too far apart. You want to apply something that's a little darker on the inside, and your eyeshadow should be a little darker toward your nose. That will give the illusion that your eyes are a little bit more close together. And now I'm going to use the Tarte Light Camera Lashes mascara. And that mascara primer that I applied earlier is now set. And it's keeping my lashes fairly separate, which is nice. I'm just applying a little bit of mascara on the lower lashes. This is Revlon Certainly Red. It's a cream. And to avoid feathering, only apply it up to the lip line, okay? Start at the outer edge and work your way in on the lower lid, and then on the top lid you go up and out. Lower lid you go out and in, okay? I have heart-shaped lips, but they're very small. The good thing about red lipstick is that it does that. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a little bit of definition to my eyebrows, but not too much. I'm going to be using this nice light brown color that I've got here. Instead of the powder in the palette, I'm not feeling powdered eyebrows. I'd rather use a pencil today. And now I have very naturally high peaked eyebrows. And you notice the soft stippling motion I'm using with the pencil. There we go. It's designed to simulate hairs. If you go in with too strong of a stroke, you're going to wind up with a big streak and it's going to look weird. And some folks, like Whoopi Goldberg, don't have eyebrows as far as hair is concerned. And she would look really, really weird if they were to put eyebrows on her, you know? She's just Whoopi Goldberg. You just don't put eyebrows on Whoopi Goldberg. I say stick with the Lord's plan. If God gave you eyebrows, go with it, you know? And I'm going to take a spoolie and I'm going to brush my brows. They also have brow creams that come in mascara form. And you can use those to help keep your brows set in place. So there you go. There we are. And it only took an hour to put on. But you know what? Through the magic of television, we can trim that down. Now, if you had not been here, I'd have been done over half an hour ago. So there's that look. Now let me show you in varying lights what this looks like. Room lighting, slightly more, and slightly more than that. Okay, well, I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye, ladies.